Sandra Sahi, hi.
Hi.
Thanks for taking the time to speak to us.
Of course, thanks for having me.
Cool, so we're at a VidCon,
Yes.
conference.
Yes.
How did you get into video and content?
How did I get into video? That's a good question. I got into, well, first of all, I'm an artist, I'm a singer,
Yeah.
for whoever doesn't know that. I got into singing at the age of, I would say 13, 14. That's when I started to upload my first videos. And I started to upload like covers on YouTube. So I already started on those platforms.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much how I slowly started to upload more and more, and then it started to gain more traction.
Yeah.
Because people started to like what I do and what I sing.
Interesting.
So yeah, the very first platform was, for example, like YouTube.
Yeah.
That was my very first personal experience with a video platform. Let's say. Yeah.
And were you treating it like you were a singer posting online, or were you treating it like you wanted to create content and tell stories as well?
Yeah, so it started off with just me singing and posting those videos out there on YouTube, but then it developed into being actually more than that, because people were interested into, okay, so Sandra is a singer, but then what about her life?
Yeah.
What is she like on a daily, weekly, monthly basis?
Yeah.
So that's when I started to consider vlogging. So then I have like maybe over 100, 200 vlogs on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And it would be, I would stop eventually for like specific periods of my life where I would have to study or travel or anything. But then when I have the motivation, I would vlog literally every week. I would post content. Sometimes there was a period where I did French vlogging as well, and English, Arabic vlogging as well. So twice a week. And people really like that, actually.
Okay. Yeah, mixing the languages as well. Yeah. And then it's almost like A/B testing. Like you can see which one works better.
Exactly. Yeah. So the Arabic was definitely my audience's favorite, because they're based here.
Yeah.
Most of them. But the French one is kind of, I really felt the need to represent the French, like Belgian community, let's say, because I'm born in Belgium as well. And I've got a lot of people from there who are like, Sandra, like, you speak French, do something in French, like show us.
Yeah.
So that's where I came to
too.
be. Yeah, exactly, we're here too.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So at what point did you kind of, it's similar, we've spoken to a few YouTubers today, and they all seem to have started, that they say that same age, 13, 14, 15, kind of maybe 10 years ago, depending on their age. And one of the reasons why that's interesting is because it shows consistency.
Exactly.
And you need to build that audience over time, and then they just stick with it. Was that your story as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think when I first started, it was more like quiet, just silence. It was just me being passionate about what I do, but then it developed and it built up into this bigger thing where it became like just a habit. Like you have to do something. Like I have to create content. I want to show my people what I do, what my daily life is looking like. So it became like a routine that was kind of implemented in my life, which was very interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. And what were you studying something at the same time, or how did you?
Yeah, I was. So basically, when I first started, I was still in high school. It's very funny because this whole social media thing happened at a very crucial and important phase of my life, where I went from graduating high school into being accepted in university here in Dubai, and then up until now, me graduating university and still being on social media.
Yeah.
So it was beautiful phases of my life, very important ones as well. It's like that major, basically that important age, when you transition from being, younger to being an adult. And so it's very beautiful for me to see that and to be able to show that actually to the people who follow me and have been following me since day one. I mean, sometimes I get comments, like crazy comments that give me goosebumps. They're like, Sandra, we've been following you since you were 13, but like since I was 13, I had like 1,200 followers maybe on social media. So it's
amazing.
Crazy.
So they stuck with you. And at what point do you kind of know that that you're doing this more, that you're releasing songs, that you're creating content, and after you graduated, are you kind of doing this full time? Yeah.
So when I kind of finished, for example, my exams, like for example in high school, when I would have my exams as a student, it was hard because I had to like kind of balance it out, and I couldn't necessarily vlog or have time to even write songs because of my studies, because they would take such a long time. And those are actually the periods where I would stop vlogging. So I would like focus, put my head to my studies first, and then when I was done with that, that's where I would like consistently take back social media, or like YouTube in general. Let's say that's when I would 2 months, Sandra, 2 months of summer vacation, kill it. Like, vlogging weekly, uploading content, writing songs, sitting down in my room, focusing on, you know, looking for beats, looking for producers, looking for people, you know, to surround yourself with as well, like a good team. And that's actually the time that I would be able to do that.
Amazing. And what do you focus on, the content creation, like the publishing and the songs, and do you have a team around you that does the business side and the other parts of it?
Yeah, definitely. I did start off pretty independent though, and I still am an independent artist. Like from that aspect, I'm not actually signed to any label. I'm still independent.
Signed to YouTube.
But signed to YouTube. But no, when it comes to the team, it's more like I'm trying to find a great team that I can trust, and that they can trust me as well. It's mutual, you know, it goes both ways. And in order to find that team, it's like you have to meet up with them, collaborate with them, do several things together, sit down, have meetings. So it's a whole thing that does take a while. But then when you get there and when you reach that final group of yours, you know, you're surrounded by such a creative team.
Amazing.
Such talented people.
And supportive as well when
for sure,
you know,
for sure.
And you mentioned your brothers are involved in the industry as well.
Yeah. My older brother, we kind of started around the same period actually. He's a comedian, he's a creative director as well. We have Sahi Media, which is our production agency now, based in Dubai, so that's very exciting. So we're all kind of in that same field. And then my older brother, Muhannad, who's behind the lens most of the time. He's the one who does all the filming, the podcasting, everything like that. So we're kind of we grew up with that field actually around us in Dubai. That's when we started. We started around 6 years ago, and social media developed with us, and we developed with social media. I always like to say this because it's like vice versa. It's just everything grew with everything.
And it's still developing, right? Like there's so many. It moves so fast.
So many, like for example, so many new platforms. Like a year ago when TikTok, let's say, came out, everyone was like, what is this thing, like TikTok and everything. So it's crazy. It keeps on developing, and I think that's the cool thing about VidCon is that it's bringing all of that together.
Exactly. And how many platforms do you kind of look after all the time for yourself? Like, are you on them all, and how do you post the same content, and how do you manage everything?
So the main like platform I would say for myself is Instagram. It's a very powerful platform because you can promote on it. You can like for example, to promote, let's say, my YouTube vlogs, or let my fans aware that there's a new vlog, that's when I use Instagram to do that. So Instagram has a huge, let's say, platform. That's my main, let's say, platform. But then you have other ones like YouTube, which I don't necessarily need to upload. I'm always on YouTube. I watch videos of other people, content creators. I watch shows. I watch live performances from my favorite artists. So YouTube is very dominant as well in my daily life and my daily routine. That's where I learned most of the things that I know now from YouTube.
Definitely.
I taught myself guitar from YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. And sort of the content in the region and the entertainment in the region is changing a lot, both in terms of streaming, in terms of, you know, there's more and more concerts in Saudi Arabia and things like that. For you as a singer, as an artist, what are your goals, and how do you kind of plan what you'd like to achieve?
I like to always aim to keep on doing what I love, and if that, for example, last time not long ago, around a week ago, I think I released my very first French single. I've never sung in French before. I always sing in French, but I never actually did a single in French. So it's just really, I followed that passion inside of me that said go for it, because for the past year, actually since we got into lockdown in the UAE, that's when I started to write French music and discover a new passion, like a new burning flame for French music.
Amazing.
So the trick is, I guess, just to keep on doing it, and those digital platforms such as YouTube, and actually the streaming digital platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, etc. Those are very important for me as an artist, and for other artists as well. Like those are the major, let's say, platforms that people listen to audio on, like you know, songs from artists and podcasts and concerts. So yeah.
Is that where do you distribute your songs on all those platforms and Angami as well?
Yeah.
And
yeah, exactly. So when a single is uploaded, it gets distributed basically automatically everywhere on every single platform.
And you know, at a kind of an industry event, how do you see the creator economy now? Like, do you think it's maturing? Do you think it's harder to break into? And what do you think the trends are?
The economy specifically?
Yeah, the creator economy, like being a business around
job out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's not easy. For example, for platforms such as YouTube, you have to be consistent with your content, and you have to make content that people genuinely love, that will generate you views, that will generate you that, let's say, living, you know, for yourself.
Do you need to try and get lots of views so you can have revenue share? Do you need to have brand endorsements, or do you need to other things like you need to release products? Or
brand endorsements, for example, became a thing that is bigger and bigger now. It's like a brand comes to you and they're like, we want to advertise this product through you, through your eyes, because we know that lots of people love you, and we would love to hear their opinion from you, basically, like throughout you collaborating with us. So brand endorsements became such a huge thing. Still is happening. Brand endorsements are actually happening now on TikTok very quickly, because because brands are also on the lookout of this. They're like, on the business side of things, they're like, okay, TikTok is booming, let's switch to TikTok. You know,
they're fast as well.
They're super fast as well.
And you know, the team, do you have a management team? Do you have a business side of it? And then will you also get help with distributing the content onto different platforms? Like, do you do Snapchat, for example?
I'm fully independent. When it comes to that, I am my own manager. I've worked with several people here and there, managements, but it's just that nothing was wrong with that. It was a beautiful experience. You have to experience that as a content creator. You have to surround yourself with a team. You have to, at some point, know how to work with somebody. Having a manager is a teamwork. It's communication, it's understanding, it's meetings, it's a lot of that. But I did that, and now I feel like I'm very secure in the space that I'm in right now, in that period of my life where I feel like I'm in control of most of the work that I do. So I am just managing myself.
Okay. And sort of next year, do you have any kind of goals around what you'd like to achieve?
Definitely. I would love to, well, first of all, I released my very first French single. I would love to maybe release a little EP of French. Just to, you know, make my audience listen to the different flavors that I'm able to do with my first language, because French is my first language. And then obviously, you know, move on to potential business projects. I have a business dream of mine, you know, to come up with a brand or inspire people through a specific product. So that's actually what I see myself hopefully starting to work on in 2022.
Amazing. We'll look forward and we'll watch out for it.
Definitely.
Thanks, Sandra, for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.